going on, guys? Back here again with another episode of Ask Baris. And today I got another question from you guys, all right? And today's question is about what do you do when you're working in a toxic environment? Any environment where people are toxic is a negative environment, okay? And by toxic, we all know what toxic is, right? Toxic traits, negative traits, people who bring anger towards you. They make you feel angry when you shouldn't feel angry. They make you feel disappointed when you shouldn't feel disappointed. They make you feel negative when you don't really have to be feeling negative, all right? These are people who sometimes they go out their way to make you feel the way you're feeling, but sometimes also they're not even aware that what they're doing is toxic and it's causing you to feel the way you feel, okay? You need to understand, you cannot grow in a negative environment, okay? I don't care how hard you try, you cannot grow in a place where there's toxic people. You cannot grow in a place where there's toxic things happening. Think of it like this. You see these plants, right? You see these plants. In order for this plant to thrive, in order for this plant to go from a seed to an actual plant with flowers blooming, the environment has to be right? The soil, the water, the sunlight. So if it's missing one of those, it's a negative environment. So look at yourself like that. If you're not getting those three, or you're getting the opposite of those three, you're getting bad soil, you're getting too little water, you're getting too little sunlight, your environment's negative, you're not going to grow, okay? Just like that plant, okay? In your environment, whatever environment you're in, if it's your workplace, because that's what we're talking about, right? The workplace. The environment has to be positive. You can't grow in a negative environment, okay? If your soil is not right, if your water is not right, if your sunlight is not right, if it ain't bright, you're not going to grow. If it doesn't have the things that you need for you to grow in a positive way, it's toxic. It's negative. You don't need to be there. But Baris, I'm already here. It's my job. Remember, he didn't give any details, so I have to kind of assume. But I'm assuming he's still there because it's his job, right? And for some of us, we can't just up and leave our job. We can't just quit because we don't like something that's going on, unfortunately. So you're in the environment and you see the signs and you know it's toxic, but you can't just leave yet for whatever reason. What should you do? What you should do is, first of all, speak up. Speak up using the chain of command. Now, the chain of command, I was in the army, I was in the military, I was in the army, and the chain of command is people who are above you, right? But you don't just shoot straight to the top, okay? You got to use the chain of command. You have to go through your supervisor first, and then your supervisor will speak to whoever's in charge of him, and then that person will speak to whoever's in charge of them, all right? And they'll go up the line to whoever it needs to go to, okay? So speak up, all right? First and foremost, just like how you spoke up to me by writing this message, asking for the help, you need to be, if you can't do it in real life, then write a message to your supervisor. Whoever you report to in your workplace, start by letting that person know first. Whatever is toxic, right? You didn't tell me what's toxic, so I can't really say what's toxic, but if it's other coworkers, if it's a boss, if it's just a job that you're doing, whatever the issue is, let them know that, hey, this thing is bothering me. Is there any way we can do it differently? Or maybe I can substitute this for something else. Or maybe, like, let's say if the area you're working in, maybe you can ask to be put in a different area to do your job in. Maybe the coworkers, right? Maybe ask them, be like, hey, me and so-and-so, we don't see eye to eye, or I just don't like the way so-and-so does his or her job, or can I work with someone else? Can I do my job somewhere else? Is there another way of doing my job in a way that is a little more healthier for me, a little more positive for me? You have to speak up about these things, just like any other issue in life. When you're hurt, when you're sick, you speak up to your doctor, right? You go to the hospital, you speak up. It's a form of speaking up. You're letting someone know about the issue that you're dealing with, and then you're asking them for the help, right? Same thing at the workplace. Start with your supervisor. Now, using the chain of command. If you know that your supervisor either doesn't care or the things that he's doing is not really helping, then you can go to the next person above him, all right? And the whole point of Baris, why should we even be using the chain of command? Why can't I just jump straight to the top and go to the head honcho? Because here's the thing, you can't do that. I feel like when I do things, I like to do things as right as possible, so that way there's the least amount of damage, okay, on anybody's end, but definitely on my end, okay? I've had experiences in the past where I shot straight to the top and I went to the head honcho and I let them know, and they're like, well, maybe if you would have told your supervisor, he could have done something differently and you wouldn't have to come to me about this. And in reality, that is kind of true, right? Because then that makes my supervisor look bad. It makes him look like he's not doing his job. So to minimize the damage all around, but especially on your part, use the chain of command, right? And once you see that they don't care, whoever your supervisor doesn't care, or whoever's in charge of you doesn't care, or isn't doing what you feel is enough for you, then go to the next person above them, all right? Then you can go to your boss or whoever your supervisor's boss is, and then let them know. Now, Baris, oh, my chain of command, I did that. I spoke to everybody involved and nobody cares, or nobody is doing something that really, can help me. Hey, if that doesn't work, then you need to start forming an exit plan. Baris, what is an exit plan? I have no idea what that is. An exit plan is your plan for exit, okay? It's your ticket out of hell. Right now, being in that toxic, that negative situation, it's basically hell, right? So you need an exit plan. You need a way out of there, okay? Start saving up. If money is the issue, if money is the reason why you can't leave your toxic situation right now, then start saving right now. Yes, you can. All the unnecessary money you spending everywhere else, start saving that. Do you really need Netflix? Do you really need that whatever else subscription you have? Go through all your subscriptions. Do you really need all those subscriptions? All right, the ones that you don't really need, cut them out. All right, and that can go to your savings. So start saving up whatever amount you need in order for you to comfortably leave that place, okay? But not only that, it's not only about money. What are you gonna do next? Do you have your next step planned out? Because if you don't, then you're gonna have to mentally and emotionally check out of that place, okay? Some would say you have to be a robot. But Baris, I don't want to be a robot. I hate that place. I can't just mentally check out. Okay, what other options do you have? Are you just gonna quit your job? No, because you can't, right? Financially or for whatever else reason. So for just this time period, I'm not telling you forever, for just right now, mentally check out, okay? Emotionally check out. Go to work, do what you need to do, and that's it. Okay, you don't have to overachieve. You don't have to do all this extra stuff. Go there, do what you're supposed to do, and leave. You have to mentally check out, because if you don't, you're going to keep getting involved in the stuff that you don't want to get involved in. Go to work, be a robot, and leave, okay? Do small talk, whatever. Just don't invest too much energy into it, because you know that place is toxic. It's not right for you, okay? So don't invest anything more than you need to. The only thing you should be investing is your time, because you're trading your time for money that you need right now, okay? But nothing else. It's only temporary. It's not permanent, because you know you're not going to be here. How do you know you're not going to be here? Because they don't have the right environment for you to grow, okay? So right now, you know that this is not long-term, and that should help, and it will help. So we're going to recap real quick, all right? Recap. You can't grow in negative environments, all right? Think of yourself as a plant. This plant will not be able to grow in a pot with the wrong soil, with the wrong amount of water, and not receiving the right amount of sunlight, okay? It's not going to work. And just like it won't work for that, your environment is not going to help you grow either, okay? So you can't grow in negative environments. Once you realize that, then you can start doing the next step. What's the next step? Speak up, okay? Now that you know what the issues are, now that you know exactly why this environment is not right for you, you can speak up to somebody about it using the chain of command. You don't have to, but that's, in my opinion, that's the best way to minimize and have the least amount of damage for everybody, okay? Use the chain of command. After that, if it doesn't work or you're just still not satisfied for whatever reason, start forming an exit plan, okay? Get your finances in order. Get the next step in order, whatever the next step is. Are you going to go into another job? Make sure that other job is ready for you, okay? Or if you don't have another job yet, make sure your finances are in order. Make sure you have at least 3 to 6 months ready and saved up, okay? So that way you're not struggling, because you don't know how long it's going to take for you to find another job that can do what this job is doing for you. You know what I'm saying? It could be ASAP, but it could also be a while, okay? Or you might have to, go through trial and error with a couple of jobs. So having that 3 to 6 months saved up for you will cover you. That's plenty of enough time to find something. If not something that's a perfect match for you, you'll find something that can hold you above water until you find the perfect match. You know what I'm saying? So work on that exit plan. And if you can't leave yet emotionally, detach yourself. Become a robot. Okay, if you can't leave yet emotionally and mentally, detach yourself from that place. You don't have to go up above and beyond anymore. You don't have to overachieve. I'm not saying to slack off. Because remember, you did agree to this job, okay? You did agree to do the things that you said you're gonna do. So don't just go to work and start slacking off, because then the issue won't be on the environment anymore. The issue will be your issue, okay? So just go there, be cordial with everybody, but always keep your eyes on the prize. You know what you're going to work for. It's still gonna suck a little bit, but it won't suck as much because now you're not a slave anymore, okay? You have a plan. This is all temporary. It's not permanent. Once you get to where you need to get to, you are gonna detach from that place completely, okay? So that's it. My workplace is toxic. Now you know what to do about your workplace, okay? And really, this can apply to anything toxic. Relationships, friendships, anywhere. It can apply to anywhere, all right? Bottom line, you can't grow in a negative environment, no matter how hard you try. And the harder you try to grow in a negative environment, like you push to grow in a negative environment, the harder it's gonna take a toll on you, really. At the end of the day, guys, also remember, you're not the only one, all right? And I'm not saying that to brush you off or to downplay whatever you're going through. I say that to say, when we go through these negative moments, when we go through these negative times, when we deal with these negative situations, it's gonna seem like you're the only one in it, right? I know how it feels. It feels like even when you go to talk to people about it, it seems like nobody ever understands it the way you understand it. But I'm telling you, you're not alone. I've gone through this situation a couple times. I know people who have gone through it a couple times. If you Google it, if you just search up, you'll see that you are not the first, and most likely you won't be the last to deal with a toxic workplace, okay? You are blessed. The fact that you're alive and breathing, and at the point to even recognize the faults and the negatives that's going on, and to speak up about it and be willing to do something about it, because if you sent this question into me, you basically are, right? That right there alone, you're already in a good place. I'm telling you, it may not seem like that to you right now, but you are, all right? You're way better than most people who are dealing with this stuff, because most people don't even speak up, all right? Most people can't even acknowledge the wrong that's going on, all right? If you guys have any other questions or of any category, of any kind, just shoot me a DM, send me a message, email, whatever. My email is bookbarisedwards@gmail.com, or you can just DM me, message me, whatever, comment, whatever. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, all right, guys? Positive thoughts at all times. Stop playing yourself. Keep God first, your heart in the right place. You will always win. Yes, you can. You got this, baby.